Yo, this is a motherfucker who needs no introduction. You are watching Breaking Records Radio.
Breaking Records Radio and the place to be. You know what it is, your host Maloney, and I'm absolutely honored right now to have this legend sitting here. I usually have to say on the phone with me right now, but I mean, this is my first time doing a Zoom interview, so it's a little different, but I'm absolutely honored to have you on the call with me right now, man. I got the legendary Greg Nice, the Greg NICE. You know what I'm saying?
We.
Hey, how's it going, my man? How you been doing?
I'm holding it steady as much as you can, you know?
Yeah.
Holding it steady.
I like the shirt I see there. Rock for a fee, not for free.
Yeah, man.
That's dope. Do you got those up for sale anywhere?
Yeah, I got them. You can go to my GregNiceOfficial.com website. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm going to have to grab myself one of those, man. And, before we get into the actual interview portion, I just want to let you know, my daughter, she turned 6 months 2 days ago. So prepping for the interview, I was going through listening to some of the classic, nice and smooth stuff. And she surprisingly didn't dance too much to Sometimes I Rhyme Slow, but she really liked Hip Hop Junkies and No Delayin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We had her in the, what do you call that thing, baby? The Jolly Jumper, and she was dancing around to Hip Hop Junkies and No Delayin. So I just thought I'd share that with you.
Oh, that's love, man. I appreciate that, man. New generation.
Exactly, man. You got to start them young, right?
Yeah.
And that being said, too, man, I know you grew up in New York. What area in New York did you grow up in?
The Bronx and Harlem.
Bronx and Harlem? Yeah. And what were some of your earliest hip hop memories coming up in the Bronx? You must have seen some of it like right from the jump then.
Yeah. Going to the jams in the park, man. And this is back like late 70s, early 80s, where a lot of the buildings and the surroundings were more like abandoned, just due to the fact of drug warfare and things that happened like from the early 70s and the late 60s and stuff like that. So, you had old factories and things like that were going out of business. So a lot of the buildings were just like abandoned, and, you have a schoolyard, and right outside of that schoolyard is a vacant lot and things like that. So they was making use with a lot of the schoolyards, roping off like sections of the park and coming out with the turntables and the ass kicker speakers and the PV amps. And it was just like, it was a party outside all the time.
That's crazy, man. And it's, I like, because back then that's like technically when the Bronx was burning, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's insane too, like to even think that that's a piece of American history within like a 50-year reach of our generation is insane. Like, I don't think people of today really fathom what that landscape is like. Like I've seen some like, videos of the early hip hop days of just like, people kind of like you said, like dudes in the park with the big speakers, or I think there's the video, is it Cool Herc driving around in his car with the big speakers in the back through the Bronx? Yeah. Literally, it looks like he's driving through like Beirut or some sort of like third world war zone.
Yeah, it's in some part of fucking Russia when they was going at it and shit with Salapia and all that Albania. It looked like that.
It's insane, man. And it's pretty incredible. I think every genre of music comes from a form of despair, real disparity in some sort of, area or culture. That's where you really get real groundbreaking genres of music that are born. And it's incredible what, was able to come out of the ruins of the Bronx in that time of, in that time of day, like the DJ and the turntables. And I know Cool Herc obviously was influenced from the Clashes and stuff in Jamaica, but it's incredible what was able to come out of that, and today is the biggest form of music to still exist. It's incredible.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's amazing. Just happy to be able to be there and experience it. That was amazing.
Yeah, man, for sure. And like, I want to move a little forward too, and more with you. But like, I know you used to run around like Fearless 4, Tila Rock, Special K, Treacherous 3, and stuff like that. Early on, I was curious, like, did you happen to be at the Cool Mo D Busy Bee battle at Harlem World when that happened?
No, I wasn't there, but I was familiar with it, no doubt.
Yeah. And another thing too, just knowing that like some of the names you know, because upon researching you some more, you know, like I'm like, holy crap, like man, you ran around with the legends, like, you know, back in the day. It's insane. Like, and I'm just curious too, like, what was it like when Tila Rock and like It's Yours that came out? Like, what was the feeling like? Because I know that's one of the most groundbreaking records of hip hop history. Like,
it was amazing. I guess it was kind of like the norm at the same time because it was part of the blueprint of what's happening now. So now you kind of let us know what more to expect. Then you didn't know what to expect, and you were just riding the wave of it. But it was an amazing time. It was definitely an amazing time because when that song came out, they were still doing jams in the park.
yeah,
And then it was a whole different technique that came as far as the way the programming of that Rolling 808 was programmed with Tila Rock and the vocabulary in his lyrics and things to that nature. It started having more indoor events as well. You started getting different varieties of people that like that type of music. So it was like groundbreaking. It was definitely groundbreaking. Again, there was no real blueprint, and everything else either was coming out of Enjoy Records or Sugar Hill Records, and you know some obsolete kind of little independent label will have one hit record on there. There could be a record that have Divine Sounds on their label or something like that. But it wasn't no dominant thing now, like how you go, this is the major, this is the hip hop label, this is, you know, so you saw it being done. Like same time Rick Rubin was still a student at NYU during that time.
yeah,
So, and a lot of times Tila Rock's original DJ Louie he doesn't get a lot of credit because he helped do some drum programming on that record as well and things to that nature. So, but seeing it happen and being a part of it was the greatest, and it's what made me become what I am. As far as like wanting to be original, you wanted to have your own thing because at that time and era, everybody wanted to be original.
that was the thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what made it so big. And now it's, you know, I want to sound like this one. I want to do exactly like that person. I want to look like that person. I want to walk like that person. So it's kind of bugged out.
I'm kind of curious too, because you have actually seen firsthand the transition of these generations. Like, is there an area in hip hop history where you can pinpoint where you actually started to notice that people more followed the trends opposed to try to be original? Like,
Let me try to think of the year. Um, Maybe in the mid '90s.
yeah,
Maybe in the mid '90s, because still like early '90s, you know, you had De La Soul come, you had Das Effects come. They don't sound nothing alike.
yeah,
Don't look alike. Don't have the same subject matter. Nothing. You know, Public Enemy. Everybody just was doing something different.
yeah,
Like once it started really getting polished and the blueprint was laid, really, then it got to the point where you know you'll start using the same name as somebody else, and then that's what made hip hop so raw because it was like rock. Like you had to have your own shit in rock and roll and things like that. So,
yeah,
and when somebody started biting, they'd be like, "Hey, that's a fucking biter," you know. But now they got to that point in hip hop, and once I seen like radio kill the DJ, once the mainstream radio killed the DJ, then it all went out the window
yeah,
because it was the artist, it was the people who made that shit happen and didn't happen. But when corporate got involved, that changed everything because you killed the DJ.
yeah,
You're telling him what to play. The DJ was the guy that made it all happen. He'll hear something and be like, I'm gonna try this. Then he'll put on another one that's a whole different tempo, a whole different cadence. But now it's just the same cadence, kind of the same subject matter. The vocabulary is limited.
hmm.
The love for it is limited.
The beats all sound the same.
All this, everybody got the 808.
Yeah,
Everybody. everybody doing old Mantronic triplets hi-hats.
Yeah.
Mantronic started that shit.
And that's actually, you make a really good point, because I think a lot of people don't recognize that. One of my mentors here in Toronto, his name's Chris Got Rocks. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but he was a part of the Get Fresh crew back in the late 80s. But that's one thing he said to me a long time ago. He said, you'll notice, he's like, music always goes in cycles. He's like, so if you're good at what you do and it's true to you, he's like, don't try to change to impress nobody else. Keep doing what you do, because the cycle will come back. And I think a lot of people don't recognize that, you know, like a lot of people attribute the trap sound and stuff to like New Orleans Bounce and Manny Fresh, and you know that I can't, their names slip in my mind, but you know, Masterpiece producers and
Beats by the pound.
Beats by the pound, exactly. But what people don't realize is that sound actually birthed from like the Mantronic sound, and like even like the early Africa Bambaataa stuff had, you know, like Planet Rock and that kind of stuff, looking for the perfect beat, all that kind of stuff like that. That had that really heavy 808, the triplet hi-hat, stuff like that. Like that was
a lot of that had compressed 808. The Decay 808 came with It's Yours.
Yeah.
That was the first time they had it, the 808 Decay.
Yeah.
It would always be tight, like boom, 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 boom. It wasn't boom.
Yeah.
You know, It's Yours, it was Decay. Boom, 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 yeah. Boom, 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 boom. It was like that.
Yeah.
And they took more time to engineering a record and mixing a song. A cat will take the whole fucking 2 days to mix one. And Jay, they all get ready to go get on stage. And I'm like, yo, what up, what up, what up? And they go get on. So they do the introduction, they doing their thing. And they stopped and they talking to the crowd, and Run was like, is Greg Nice incredible or what? I was like, my boy Psycho Les was like, yo, look, G. I'm like, he's like, do we need to have him up here with us right now? Everybody's like, ah. I went back up and started rocking with them. And he said, man, when they played that song, this is what Run said. When you said, oh my God, oh, he's like, I felt it in my heart. I was like, Run, come on, man. But things like that. Was another concert at Yale. And I was just happened to be in that town because a friend of mine lives in New Haven, Connecticut. On off day, like a Tuesday. I'm just out there with him. And he told me, hey, yo, Public Enemy gonna be at the venue around the corner at Toad's. I'm like, Public Enemy? It's quiet around here. It was a campus, nothing. You can't tell, no concert or nothing is happening. I'm like, you're bugging out. He's like, I'm telling you, come on. We walk around, we go in, and the Public Enemy's in there. The fucking shit is packed. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm looking and stuff, and then Chuck was performing, and he saw me in the audience. Stop the music! Pull me up there with him, and we just start rocking. It was crazy.
Oh man,
that was crazy too. So those things like that. That's the Grammys for me.
Yeah.
A Grammy about a statue, about somebody that don't give a fuck about your sound or your music, presenting you with, doesn't mean shit. The only thing they use that as is a tool to ask for more money.
Yep.
But when your peers are like people like yourself, the things that you're speaking on, that's the greatest shit ever. All of the rest of that shit could go out the window, kiss my ass in Macy's window.
Yeah.
That's all that's really matters right there, from your peers and from the people that admire what you do.
Yeah, 100%. And I even just you telling those stories, man, that's phenomenal. I missed the first little bit of the Run DMC one, unfortunately, because I hadn't been recording, waiting for you to come back in. But either way, the way I'll be able to shape it up nicely, so we get the point of overall what was being said. But you know, just to be able to be there, like just a rap nerd in me, I just wish I could see to see you and Chuck D on stage together, or see you and DMC on stage together. It's like, you know, I can only imagine, because you guys, like I said, like that conviction in your guys' voices, just you demand attention and you demand the energy and you demand, it's like, stop what you're doing. You're listening to this. And there's not really anything you can do about it. You just have to listen when you guys have the microphone in your hands. So to be able to be in the presence to see something like that, like the people at that show at Yale, and I can't remember where you said the other one was, but you know, those are some
University in Long Island, CW Post.
Those are some lucky people to have been able to witness that, man. For real.
That was crazy, man. Never forget it.
That's incredible. And another thing I do want to move on to too, you know, when you and Nice and Smooth started working together, I know on the first two albums, you and Smooth handled a lot of the production, and I really love that sound. Like, you guys had that really raw aesthetic sound, but you had all the check marks of the boxes of what I love in hip hop production, like the raw grittiness, but the drums were hitting, but the samples, you know what I mean? Like, and the samples and the way you guys selected them, it's like that perfect mix match. And I think you guys are some of the first guys, at least in my research going back, who I heard who kind of questioned the patterning. Like on a song like No Delayin, you guys let the hook, ride for 6 bars instead of 8 before Smooth comes in. Stuff like that. And I love the kind of unorthodoxness, even though you guys had well put together instrumentals. They hit and they were clean, but gritty at the same time. But you guys kind of played unorthodox with them a little bit too. And I was just kind of curious, for one, what some of your inspirations were as a producer, but two, what was the machinery you guys were using in those early albums?
For the most part, all of the drum programming on those records, I did all of them.
Wow.
And at that time, I was using a 900, S900. I was using a Casio RZ1. I was using an SP12.
Oh, wow.
And then Sonic. It's before they had the ASR 10 and all of that. It was just this thing called an Sonic. And a DX7 keyboards, just whatever was around at the time.
So you learned how to play on multiple things, and you had access to like kind of all the machinery at the time.
Yeah, for the most part. And I was just taking like I did a lot of it with that RZ1.
Yeah.
And it was a real cheap machine. And the only other person I know that was doing things with it and having success was 45 King, Mark, and De La Soul.
Really, eh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the plug tuning. I know they did that with it. That Eric B and Rakim, I Got Soul remix that 45 King did.
Oh man.
That one. I know he did it with that because I can hear it. And then I've been to his crib, so I see that he has it too. So I know that he did that.
You could just tell by listening to it though that was the machine.
I knew it was that because it didn't allow you to use maybe like a 3-second sample bit, if that. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, some shit like that.
Wow.
You had to be creative on how you do it. And then, you know, at that time, it was a scarce time to take full loops and things like that. So you had to chop them up.
Yeah.
So that was that was a good time. And at that time, man, I didn't give a fuck, you know, as far as like abstract sounding production. The kick and snare be going this way and the bass line is going all this way. My thing was like, I don't care about notes. I don't care about what key it's in. All I care about is if I could go like this. If I could go like this, then it's gonna work. Anything else, I don't give a shit. You know, you got a lot of other guys that was really perfectionist about how they do things. And I'm like, yeah, you call yourself a producer, you know, but how many hit records have you made? You know?
Yeah.
I don't ever run around and say I'm a producer, but I produced all those records.
Yeah.
And, who was it? It was, I think DJ Premier was on an interview with somebody. And he was like got into the topic of how we got together and things like that. And then he mentioned, no, I didn't do that. Greg Nice did that one. He's like, how? He's like, he did everything. They was like, what? He's like, oh, because we call each other Berkey. He's like, Berkey fucking could do anything. He don't credit himself as that, but he did all that shit. He do it all day long. Why he don't produce artists? And they just all started laughing and stuff like that. But I think it was on the Drink Champs or something he was on. Somebody called me and told me. But yeah, you know, and that just coming from where I come from at that era and that time. You know, I remember when I was the youngest guy around, like the youngest.
Yeah.
I've seen them all come. Before D Nice came, before any of that. I've seen all of it. So.
Well, one thing I think you said that's amazing too, which I can actually absolutely relate to just in a different era, is the fact that you said, I didn't give a shit. You know, if the bass was over here, the bass kick was over here, the snare was over here, as long as I could do it. And it's funny because I also, you know, I've been making beats myself for about a decade now. And, you know, I don't have any machinery. I grew up in the era of the internet and programs and computers, right? So I've always used Ableton because I find Ableton, I'm a cut and paste producer, and that's the way I put it. And everything I do, I'm very heavy in samples. I might use some 808s and stuff, but aside from that, everything is sampled from songs or records or whatever. And, you know, I'll pull a snare from this song, a hi-hat from this song, whatever, you know. But I glue everything together with cut and paste. I'll trim out the little pieces and take little 1-second samples, and I'll build that shit, right? And I'll build everything around it. And I don't know my keys. I don't know my nothing. But I'm telling you, bro, out of the 1,000, 1,200 beats I've made, so a lot of them shits is slapping. And I don't know nothing about music theory, but I just know what feels right and what sounds right. So I love that you said that, because that's something I absolutely
Yeah, imagine James Brown and those motherfuckers. He's like, I don't know karate. I don't know crazy. You got to know it's just.
Yeah.
Imagine ODB. He just whatever, you know, whatever makes you feel good. That's all that matters to me. And you got, like I said, you have perfectionists that really care about perfection and things, and a lot of them are great too. But you know, again, man, like how you said you cut and paste. Like I'm just learning digital shit, like computer shit. I'm just learning it now. And I just finished doing an album, a solo album.
Oh, really?
I just finished doing it. I just finished the first video. Get ready to shoot the next video right now. And at the top of the year.
Yeah.
Dropping the songs. But on the same note, a lot of it I did with some kind of digital stuff, but I use the digital equipment.
Yep.
But I still use analog sound. So that's what makes it crazy. Like I have a single that's coming out, and I did it kind of like it's still me, but I gave them a dose of what they're listening to right now without dumbing myself down.
Yeah.
And a lot of the songs, I have a lot of scratches and shit on my songs, because motherfuckers don't have scratches and shit. And, you know, Scratch Bastard did mostly all the scratches on my shit.
Oh, shit. And he's from up here in Canada too, right?
Yeah, I fuck with Scratch Bastard hard. I've done 3 of the barbecues already. I did like 3 of them.
Oh, say word. Make some noise for
Scratch. I fuck with starting from scratch a lot. I fuck with him a lot, starting from scratch. Ever since they was at Flow, I used to be there all the time with him and Just Red and everybody, all of those. You know, Toronto was like second home to me. So I fuck with that hard. Ever since Much Music, I used to run up in Much Music all the time.
Oh man, Much Music. Those are the days, man.
Yeah, I go out there a lot. I fuck around on Bloor Street. I be all over that motherfucker.
I used to live up on Bloor Street, my man.
Oh yeah, I used to fuck around a lot, and I used to go to Honest Ed's, all that shit.
That's where I lived, man. I lived 2 minutes from Honest Ed's, right in Mervish District. That's exactly where I used to live, man. Right in the little street on the side.
Yeah, I know that area well.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, but this shit, you know, like I said, I got Scratch Bastard on the fucking on the scratches. I'm trying to find something for you real quick. Hold on.
That's amazing. I can't wait to hear wait to hear all this and whatever you're gonna preview right here, man.
I got some good shit. Easy Mo B worked with me on some shit. I got Chic Luch from the Locks on some shit. I got Mr. Cheeks on some shit. I got Chubb Rock on some shit.
Oh man.
Let me see if I can let you see some of this video.
Yo, that's gonna be dangerous. And you handle all the production too. That's fucking. Whoa.
You know what I mean? You give them that good feeling again, you know?
Holy fuck, bro, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I have not bopped to a hip hop track like that. I don't think in all 2020. Holy shit, man. That had the vibe. The way you rode that, the little breakdowns, the doon, and then the way you smack back. Oh my god, bro. That was disgusting.
Yeah, man. It's wow. Let me give you a taste. Hold on. It's crazy, man.
That's all, yo. Those are fire, man. Those are fucking fire. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. Fucking this guy, he did some great scratches too. Scratch Bastard.
Yo, that's amazing, man. Shout out to Scratch Bastard, yo. I'm really excited to hear. Oh, yo, I gotta ask you actually, because the way you produce those, the aesthetic of them, like it has that vibe. Exactly what I love about that 90s hip hop, that just the way you guys produced back then. Like, because you mentioned that you're using the digital equipment, but you're keeping it with the analog sound. So I was just curious, what have you actually been using to craft those? Because they sound like they were done. You know what I mean? Like they capture that 90s vibe. It's not that quantized bullshit. It's like that's that raw. You know what I mean? Like what you use to make that?
MP.
Okay.
MP and just use that SB12 feeling in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that MP with that SB12 feeling in it. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. All that shit. This is bananas.
I gotta ask, man, when can we expect that to be coming out?
I'm going to leak the trailer of the music video on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
And on New Year's Eve, going to drop the whole video and on New Year's Day. So it can start off with a fresh start. You know, the cheese doodle guy will be out at the office coming up, you know, fix things, go with a new vibe, a new energy.
Yeah. No, yo, that's a perfect timing too. And I can't wait till you drop that. Because, yo, New Year's Eve, that's the perfect day. Me and my wifey, you know, we got the newborn at home. We won't be going out this year, not with COVID or nothing, but I'm going to be at home rocking that new Greg Nice, having a few drinks, getting nice. You know what I mean?
That's dope, man.
Yeah, we winning, that means more hits. Nigga being on the track, nigga. Maserati fucking F's, nigga. Happy hours with scat, nigga. With a hook, bring it back, nigga.
Yo, that shit all, it's got that vibe, man. That's that energy I miss in hip hop, man. I'm so excited for this album, man.
Yeah, man, I feel the same way. That energy, a lot of it's not there no more.
It's not at all. And even the artists I love from back in the day, or the artists of today that I do love, you know, they bring other elements to the table that I've either that I do love or I've learned to fall in love with. But it's that energy, like what you just played me, like those joints back to back to back. It's like, that's that energy I miss, man.
Yeah, exactly. I feel the same way you feel. And it's been a couple of them that just came out recently, a couple of artists from that era. And it's a lot of hype behind them. And I'm listening to the records and I'm going, okay, you can't make the same record you made before, though that feeling is different. What happened to the fun?
Yeah.
It's too hard for me. Like, I'm busting so many guns and it's just so tight, and you know, I'm like, okay, you know. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to slide right in there and give it to them like how they want it, the same way.
Oh man. And see, and that's one thing, you know, that I've always admired about you and you and Smooth when you guys were the duo. But you know, even in the years following, it's just you've always brought that energy to the track, and you've always, anytime Greg Nice on a song, I know I can expect something fun. You know what I mean? Like even like, you know, my introductory point, that Beat Nuts record. Like, once again, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the Beat Nuts. Like, you know, Reign of the Tech is one of my favorite joints. You know what I mean? But that energy, like, bro, like No Escaping This was just such a fun record, man. I used to, back when I could still shoot hoops decently, you know what I mean? I was slam dunking and shit with my boys to that, you know, like, oh man, it's just the memory.
Yeah, the same energy. That's how I guess LP and Killer Mike felt, and that's how we did the Ooh La La. It just
I wanted to ask you about that actually too.
That's been a trip. That's been a real trip. Scratch Bastard. Shit crazy.
Oh, I gotta say, so out of everything you played me, everything was fire, but that last one you just played and that first one, those two are ones that, like, yo, man, I'll be jumping off the wall playing those when those come out, bro. Those got that, like, those two right there, like, I don't know, you're in the zone, but I don't know if you see my album on this end just go wild, bro. My hat's about to fall off my head. That shit's crazy, bro. That's got that vibe to it.
I'm with you, man. I feel the same way. Soon come, man. Soon come. Couple of more days.
And what's the, do you have a name for the album yet?
Right now I'm going with Butter.
Ah, okay. You say Butter. I say
Parquet.
Hey, it's all right if you want to make a sway. But with that, actually, I did want to actually ask you about that as well, too, because, you know, I might just be an idiot and I've never come across this information, but I've never seen any of you guys get asked, and I've never been able to figure it out myself. What the hell does DWYCK mean?
Do what you can, kid.
Shit. All right. Was that like slang back in the day or something? Like what? Like, because none of you guys say that in the song or nothing.
Right. Just like a lot of songs that never mention the title. A lot of movies and shit. You know how they come in the middle and go, oh, this
Wow,
is the end. Huh? So yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man. I always wondered that. I was like, bro, I'm not even lying. Like, for years, I've racked my brain about that. I'm like, yo, is it like their first names? I'm like, you know, Preem is Chris. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I've tried to come up with so many definitions of what that song title can mean. And like, I've never heard anybody ask it in an interview, anything. And I'm like, yo, why is like, how does nobody want to know what the like is one of the most legendary songs in hip hop history?
A lot of folks ask about it though. A lot of folks have asked, yeah.
I just never came across that. That's interesting. So I'm glad to know that. And I was wondering how did the whole Run the Jewels thing come along as well too?
LP told me it was something that he always wanted to do as far as that part of that verse, and he had a track that he put it together, and then got in touch with me through Z-Trip, and the rest is history.
That video is wild, man.
Yeah, man, we had big plans for that, you know, till the pandemic came. We were just about ready to do the Stephen Colbert show, and then from there we were going back to LA and then do the 2 nights on the main stage at the Coachella, and then the week after that they were going out on the road for 60 days with Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
And all that went to, but like Killer Mike told me the other day, he said, no, don't worry, that's still gonna happen. We're just gonna do it next year.
Yeah, do it when you can do it.
Right. So,
that record's a monster. I can't lie to you. I wrote a verse to that Ooh La La thing, you know, just for a little behind bar series. I do. That beat's a monster, but
yeah, a lot of folks did that, man, all over the country. They were sending their own videos to all of our pages and stuff. So I was seeing it a lot, and a lot of the DJ challenges, they were doing that a lot. And,
Scratch did a challenge with that, did he not?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
We got a lot of people involved in it. A lot of people wanted to do it as well. So it's a good thing, man. That shit was good.
And how's it feel like, you know, so many years removed? Like Hard to Earn was what, 94? And now we're sitting at what, 2020? Like, so, you know, I'm not best math off the top of my head, but what is that, like 26 years? Is that 26 fucking years?
And that song came out before Hard to Earn.
So even a little bit longer than that. Like, how does it feel for like that, you know, that piece?
That's at 92, 1 year later.
Oh, shit.
It wasn't on their album. It was on a B-side of a single. And it was like the backup song. But Premier knew, and I knew, we were like, this is a monster. But record label, all of that, they didn't understand it. And again, like I said, the DJs make shit happen.
Yeah.
Because DJs was like, yeah, I like this one too, but I love this one right here.
Yeah.
And that's how it started happening. And I actually had a conversation with Premier where I was like, you got to do some kind of visual to it, something. Don't have to be much. You could do something like how we did with Hip Hop Junkies in Spanish when we went to the beach. Go to a beach somewhere simple. That way you don't need extra lighting. You don't need shit. Just
don't need a big budget.
The song has its own fucking legs. Just give them something that people want to play on the box and all of these different things. They want to see it. So give them that, and figured it out and got it done. And you couldn't stop that shit.
So you guys actually recorded that then, like coming off the tail end of Daily Operation then?
Yeah.
Or Stephanie Arena? No, Daily Operation it would have been, right?
I can't even remember, but I know it didn't make the album.
Yeah, wow. And then it ended up being put on the following album because it's such a monster. Yeah,
then it was on the B-side of X Girl, the Next Girl again. They kept putting it on another single because
wow,
it was so crazy. It was so crazy. And I remember, man, they did the first Summer Jam ever, Hot 97 that they ever had, and they were on it. And they asked us to come and do the record with them. So I was having issues with the people at the station at that time. And I was like, I ain't going to that shit. And he's like, yo, come on, man. I don't ask you for nothing. Please, come on. Yeah. Then Smooth was like, I want to go to that shit. Come on, please, man. We went, and that was one of the illest performances ever with that song. It was so crazy that I just threw the microphone down on the floor at the fucking Meadowlands at the arena. I just threw the fucking microphone on the floor. So imagine being in the fucking Raptors arena and just throw the fucking mic down, and there's 30,000 people in there. And I did the whole fucking song with no mic because the whole arena did the song. Good night! The whole thing, we did the whole shit. It was incredible. It was incredible. And I remember driving away on the highway. We were driving, and people in their cars, and everybody was screaming. It was like, man, this shit was incredible, man. But you couldn't.
Oh my God!
You couldn't stop that. You know, I don't know if we're ever going to get that again, but it happened.
But it's a beautiful thing that so many years later that song, and not even just the song, but that verse is so impactful that probably the most simple thing you said in that whole verse became its own monster once again in 2020. You know what I mean? Like that, like it just shows the timelessness to what you guys were doing back in the day.
It's been a blessing. I take it as a blessing, and I run with it, and just ready to embark on this new thing, and you know, get the people hyped. I just hope that it clears up enough so we can go out and touch them again. You know, want to go out and touch them.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I know, like you said, that you know, you've spent a lot of time in Canada and Toronto, and that you know, it's like a second home. So I really hope once all this stuff clears up that you end up coming back up here for a show.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be there once the shit clears up. I'm out of here.
I'll definitely be there, and I'd love to have you come through the actual radio station too once I can get back in there and this shit clears up, and we can sit down face to face and do a chat, man. You know, it's been amazing talking to you. I don't want to take your whole day, but if you don't mind, I do got a couple more things I'd like to touch on.
Man. Do your thing, man. Appreciate you.
Amazing, man. You know, and actually, with that being said, I will keep some things, you know, I will keep some things in the book as well, too. So I got, you know, some other talking points next time we chat. Not that there won't be other things, but, you know, it's always nice to keep some things under wraps. So one thing I do really want to ask you about, because it really fits my age demographic. So, you know, my earliest memories, aside from listening to Michael Jackson in music, we're listening to the New Kids on the Block, and I had no fucking idea that you did Dirty Dog with them until I was researching today. Because that album, I guess that project dropped after my interest in them when I was younger kind of peaked. And when I went back and listened, I'm like, yo, this is a fucking slapper, bro. And
we had a ball too. We had a ball, man.
I'm just kind of curious how that whole joint came about. Like, how did New Kids
Donnie Wahlberg and Mark and those guys, they're pure to the music, speaking such like of yourself, how you like this and you feel that. And that's Donnie used to dress like how you dress right now.
Yeah.
So, we were doing a concert at the Apollo, and it was a 7 show and an 11 show, 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. And we were headlining that show. It was me and Smooth and Tim Dog, Cypress Hills, the Ghetto Boys, and the Black Sheep. And a friend of mine that's close to Dougie Fresh had came to the dressing room, and he was like, yo, I got this guy that want to meet you or whatever. I'm like, all right, when we finish, you know, this, you know. He's like, all right. So after we finished the show and we went to the back of the Apollo, and there was these guys in the car, leaned over to the car and looked, and it was fucking Donnie Wahlberg. And I'm like, yo, shit, what's up? And he's like, yo, man, you know, I love you guys, you know, let's make a record together. Kind of sort of like that, you know. So the next day, you know, I went to Russell Simmons, called him and told him, look, man, these guys want to, I don't know about that. That might destroy your career. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Fuck that. I like doing shit with all kind of people, you know.
Yeah.
And if you go back and check my record from doing songs with CNC Music Factory to Lizette Melendez to third base to I don't give a fuck.
Everlast early on.
Everlast. I love, making music because this shit is universal and it'll live longer than you live.
Yep.
So we worked it out with the guys, Donnie Einer up at Columbia Records, and a week or so later we were in there recording, and not too much longer after that we were up in Boston fucking shooting a video, and the rest is history, and we still rolling today.
That's incredible, man. Like, and as someone like myself, I know that, at the time that came out, I was probably like, 4 years old or something, 5 years old. So I can understand how at the time I didn't catch it, but I'm just so shocked when I came across it today that it had never came across my radar and just like digging into crates and old music. And I actually found it by being on your YouTube page and your playlist that was collaborative efforts or collaborations, whatever it was called. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, New Kids on the Block. I'm like, Dirty Dog. I'm like, I've never even heard of this song. I'd play it. I'm like, yo, this shit is slapping. Like, that actually might be one of my favorite songs by the New Kids on the Block now.
Yeah.
Never heard it prior to
today. I perform it maybe 3 times with them. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that was good, man.
It's amazing. That beat was dope too. Like, you guys didn't do that beat though, did you? Their production team did that, or was that you guys? You guys did it?
Donnie did it.
Donnie did. Wow, really, eh?
Yeah, Donnie did it. Yep.
That beat slapping too. Like, it kind of had their aesthetic to it, but it had a kind of a funkiness to it too. That's why I wasn't sure if you guys collaborated on it or whatnot. But
Donnie produced that song.
That was dope, man. And another thing, as well too, I was curious. I interviewed Positive K, I think at the tail end of last year, and I love the Great Minds album you guys did. I was just kind of curious, do you guys have anything else in the works? Like, can I expect Positive K at all on the upcoming Greg Nice album, or you guys got anything else wrapped up, or was that kind of just a piece for the time?
I think it was a piece for the time, and no telling what the future may bring. I didn't know the fucking pandemic was coming, so anything could happen. But no, and on this album, like I said, I got like 3 people, nothing more than that, because it's my album.
Yeah, let it speak for yourself.
Yeah, it's my album, so let me have some fun.
Oh man, I'm so excited for the album, man, and get I'm not sure your manager's name because it says Nini Music. I'm not sure his actual name, but please get him to send
Ruben.
as they come out, because we'd love to play them on the show, and obviously I'll be keeping updated on New Year's Eve for the new single, just myself, because I can't wait to
what I'm gonna do is forward you the link of the video the day before, so you can post it on yours at the same time too. Same time I'm posting it, same time Mike Epps is posting it, same time Big Worm, Faison Love is gonna post it. Everybody gonna post. We all gonna do it at one time. Boom.
Let's do it. I can't wait, man. That shit sounded crazy. Man. Like, and now I'm listening to it over a phone, over a Zoom call, on a phone. You know what I mean? So, bro, I cannot imagine how that. Oh man, that shit's hard. That shit's hard. But I just I want to thank you again so much for your time, man.
Appreciate you, man. I thank you as well.